Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Grand Tactician The Civil War, where we are playing the Union Career Mode. This is the first actual episode of the game, as last episode we spent building our character. For those of you who haven't watched the episode 0, let me give you a little rundown. We are a lieutenant colonel, we got immediately promoted as we got command. We are a politically assigned officer. We are seen as a contrarian because we are not an American citizen and moved here to join the fighting. We are seen as outrageous as we are not particularly religious. And we are seen as a radical because we want to abolish slavery no matter what. So far we do not have any items or weapons equipped, and we do not have a mount. And we also do not have anyone in our headquarters. And I think the first thing that we should do is pledge an oath of loyalty to make sure that we are not going to be seen as untrustworthy. And we should also have a look on our headquarters. For now I'm only going to assign an adjutant, and this is going to be Lieutenant Samuel P. Carter. Last but not least, we have to go into our camp, where we have certain options and certain duties to fulfill. For now I've made sure that we are going to spend 7 hours on resting. For the other options that I can select, I have assigned at least 1 hour per day. We are currently serving in the 3rd Division of the Army of Northwestern Virginia, in the 38th New York Infantry. Our soldiers are armed with the Springfield musket, and now I think it is time to finally hit the play button. And I will get back to you once something actually happens. And right off the beginning, we are informed about a glorious victory at Wilmington. The North Carolina squadron is on the retreat and one enemy ship got sunk. Very good. Nice to see that the US Navy is working. And if we take a look on the tactical map, we can see that down here the first squadrons of the United States Navy are blockading the enemy supply line to Richmond. And we are immediately having some trouble with some fellow officers. But for now our soldiers are just trying to get ready, and I'm going to speed up time a little bit more. A couple days later we can celebrate another victory, this time at Hampton. The Department of Norfolk is fleeing. Our soldiers are in good spirit, but for now we are still waiting. And we have gotten our first companion. Sir, I was sent to keep you company, don't mind me. Someone on top must suspect something, as your unit has been joined by a committee investigator working for the government. He'll do anything to catch you committing anything suspicious, and he wants to see all your paperwork before sent out of headquarters. As he policies every step you take, his presence increases your administration. Well, this gentleman could be a blessing in disguise once our loyalty has been proven. And we can also use this man in our camp to increase our planning ability with our staff. Let's hope that all of this is going to work out in our favor. For now the readiness of our division is still quite bleak and we cannot move, but I hope that we are soon going to get in contact with the Confederates. And the Confederate issues the letter of marque. Privateering is now made illegal. This is going to have heavy effects on the outside support of the Confederacy. Very good for us. And we can see that Lee's division, together with the Army of the Potomac and the Army of the Shenandoah, is marching to Alexandria. And now we are going to have our first taste of combat. We're going to be attacked outside of Washington DC itself. We only have 20,400 men at our disposal, together with 313 horses and 48 artillery pieces, while the Confederates have 35,200 soldiers, 1,900 horsemen and 61 guns. Our reinforcements are going to be on the field earlier than those of the enemy, and this might help us to fortify our positions. Gentlemen, this is the situation that we have at hand. Today is June 23rd, 1861. Our scouts reported the enemy is near Alexandria, Virginia, and our army is preparing for battle. We are facing the Army of the Potomac under command of PGT Beauregard, with a currently unknown number of men and artillery pieces. The enemy army is green and the morale is reported as broken. Reports indicate their supply situation is outstanding. The supply state of our army is outstanding as well. Currently we have some defensive positions around the left fork and about the right fork of our lines, and more soldiers are coming over from this direction. Also, some reinforcements are going to arrive via this road and by this road. The bulk of the Confederate army is going to arrive from here. It doesn't seem possible that they get reinforcements from any other route. They already have a large amount of forces present on the battlefield. We are ordered to defend our position, and we simply have to wait that the enemy is coming to us. I would wish to send our soldiers into more defendable ground again behind those fences, but we will have to wait until the rebel forces are coming up. We see Confederate forces on the move. They're coming up in a single file over this road. Cavalry is scouting ahead. And I'm going to assume that they're going to follow the Milkhouse Ford Road. More Confederate contingents are arriving on the battlefield, and many of our reserves are currently holding back at the edge of the battlefield. I hope that they are going to join the battle soon. There is a small update in the enemy movement. Their cavalry has arrived on this road, and we will soon find out where the Confederate forces are going to move further. They're starting to link up on this section. And as predicted, their cavalry is marching down Milkhouse Ford Road. And it appears that the majority of their forces are going to follow this road as well. For now, our soldiers are positioned on this section of the front line. Our skirmishers are holding out over here, but I guess soon we will have to shift to help our soldiers on the left fork. Artillery is opening up and soldiers are marching to greet the enemy. It appears that the majority of our soldiers are abandoning the left fort. And our cavalry is clashing with the enemy, but it appears that we are outnumbered. Yes, we are heavily outnumbered, only 300 against 972. The enemy is now laying down. So far we haven't got new orders. Infantry is set to fire on long range. Very good. And I'm going to give out the same order to our skirmishers. And we can see that more Confederate forces are pushing up. Infantry and other forces are still holding back. If you would get the order to move forward, we could start flanking the enemy. On our left flank, further support is coming up, but the Confederates also have support under the 9th South Carolina. It is Jackson's brigade of Lee's division. So far we are holding them back. And I want our soldiers to be ready to move. Artillery of our forces is opening up. Our skirmishers are going to be sent to the flank of those artillery pieces. Jackson's brigade got driven back. Very good. Confederate cavalry is still holding. More enemy forces are rushing over. It is the 17th Georgia. 979 men, another unit of Jackson's brigade. And it looks like Confederate cavalry is falling back. So far we have a minor victory, but I doubt that these forces can hold off the enemy forever, especially if we do not move. But it looks like High Command has sent more forces down this road to support. Over on this section, more cavalry is coming up. It looks like they might be able to outflank our forces. And even though we haven't gotten any orders yet, I want our skirmishers to move forward a bit. So far I want to move them a little bit forward in case that they try to flank us. And it looks like they are starting to move forces from Virginia on our position. Our artillery could be exposed. I want our soldiers to move up and to get on the flank of the artillery. Come on, man. Advance. We're now ordered to support friendly units over on this section. Very good. Meaning that our own movement plans are working in unison with them. Our soldiers are getting pressured and our men are starting to move out. Our skirmishers are now also sent forward. They need to cover our left flank. It looks like more Confederate forces are marching up over there. I hope we can reach our combat zone in time. Come on, man, move forward. Skirmishers are coming up. And we are going to have a nice battle line soon. Artillery is opening up on our soldiers. And our main force has not yet arrived. We are pushing up to the river. Very good. As the situation over here looks rather decent, I want our soldiers, if possible, to move up. Well, I wonder if we even have the range to move up on this section, but I'm going to order our soldiers to advance anyway. I hope that our men are strong enough to hold them back, so that we can hit the enemy in the flank and drive them back further. Our skirmishers need to support our soldiers though. The enemy is pushing us. They are now at the river. Alabama is pushing forward. The 6th Alabama, part of the Army of the Potomac, is engaging. They also have the Alexandria light artillery over on this section. And it looks like our right flank is dangerously exposed. If possible, I want our own skirmishers to attack the 5th Alabama. The 1st Michigan is falling back and our soldiers are struggling to get forward. A shame, as we should be able to drive back the 30th Virginia with ease. Come on, man, on the double. As the situation is currently looking, I don't know if we are able to reach our enemy in time. Our skirmishers have arrived to now open up on the enemy at least. Movement has completely broken down on this section. I think it is better to change orders once more and send our men down. Let's hope the artillery over here is going to deal with this section. I do not want this side to be completely overrun. This is definitely not the best movement that we could make. But we are all green soldiers here. Our men appear stuck. I hope they get a move on quickly. We have some units falling back already. Our soldiers, our skirmishers are getting hit hard. I want them to focus fire on the 5th North Carolina. They're in the water. And it looks like we are outflanked. Come on, man, you only need to hold out for a little while longer until these men finally get a move on. Come on, what's taking you so long? Our men are very, very unwilling to move. In the meantime, our own skirmishers are now falling back. More men. Fall back, fall back, fall back. We have inflicted a couple casualties, but we are unable to hold this. And our main force is unable to move up. While in this case I am once again going to change the directive. I'm going to order a retreat to this fence line in the hope that we at least can hold them back over here. Yes, and it looks like we are finally getting our soldiers to move. Our skirmishers are falling back, we have 7 casualties, and the Confederates are pushing over the river. Right now it is looking like a minor defeat. Our left flank is crumbling. And we only have a very few men in reserve. Some forces over here look like they're going to join the fight soon. And we have a couple more forces over on this section. And our men are still unable to take position, it seems like. They definitely do not like this section they were caught up to. Now we finally face the enemy. Our skirmishers have reattached. And if possible, I would like to send out more skirmishers if possible. Very good. We have some skirmishers that I'm going to fall back. And they're going to support this left flank if somehow possible. I hope that the remaining parts of our forces are going to consolidate at this fence line. We have some reinforcements coming up, but I would like to get more orders from our superiors. Come on, skirmishers, double time it. Fighting is stiff. The second VT is about to fall back. They are fighting the retreating back action against the 11th Missouri, I guess this is. And our skirmishers have arrived on their position. Very good. Thanks to their long range, they should have the option to support our forces. The Confederates are now pushing up. Skirmishers, if possible, deliver a couple volleys into the flank of the 1st South Carolina. And then you need to help our main forces. But looks like the majority of us are on the retreat. We are right now the only people holding the fence line. Is this detachment able to hit them? Not quite yet, but they are moving up and they have the flank of the enemy exposed. The men of New York are currently routing. Let's hope that we can rally our men. Would be a shame if our main force is falling back without having a short fire. Our skirmishers on the other side took 1 casualty and are now getting ready to hit the enemy flank. I guess the complete retreat of our allied forces is making sure that our soldiers are starting to panic. And it appears that we are building up a second line of defense on the left fork. As currently there is no help coming, I am going to order our soldiers to retreat. Our men are moving on the double. Very good. And I hope that we get our soldiers out of the situation before our morale collapses completely. Over here our skirmishers were successful in hunting back the enemy, and we have artillery exposed. If possible, I want our skirmishers to deliver some blows to the enemy before they have to inevitably fall back. Right now I'm not impressed by the performance of our main force, but the inexperience of these soldiers is of course a lead cause for them. The second Georgia battery is maybe a good target. We are getting outflanked, but so far I don't think the enemy can fire. And over on this section our forces are actually pushing. Maybe we can force these soldiers to relocate to our left flank. This should give us some time to build up a new defensive line. And it looks like we are falling back further. The situation of all soldiers is unstable, but we are now targeting the second Georgia battery. And apparently we are not getting shelled ourselves. Come on, man. Get ready. If these soldiers start to open up, we need to fall back immediately. Our own soldiers are still falling back, and there is not a real directive where or how we are going to fight over here. Artillery is starting to take a few casualties. So far only 2 of the soldiers have fallen. Our own skirmishers are about to be driven back. Fire is starting up. And we were able to rout the Confederate artillery over here. If we are now also able to hit... Nope. More Confederate forces are coming up. New orders are given. I need to get these skirmishers out of there. They're already about to break. They need to fall back. Further on this side, our retreat continues. We're going to set up behind our main line and hopefully get our composure back. This is the first battle experience, and there are routed units nearby, making it extremely hard for our soldiers to stay on the field. Once again, I hope our officer is able to rally the men. And our skirmishers got hit and are now fleeing the battle. But they did some decent damage. We now have 18 o'clock. This fight cannot go on for much longer. And the majority of the Confederate forces are now starting to get on the field. More enemy forces are coming up over here. And others are still held up on this road. For now, I'm going to speed up time. And we will find out how the situation is going to look in a couple minutes. Our forces are still fighting over here, and it looks like we are starting to counterattack. This being the case, I want our soldiers to move forward again. And I want them to take position close to this artillery emplacement. And we're now ordered to deploy to engage over on this section. If possible, our soldiers are going to construct breastworks, and they're going to get in cover to make sure that we are getting a little bit of protection against the enemy. I don't think we have the option to fall back once more. If we rout, we will rout for good. Our men are still building. And hopefully we have these breastworks up in no time. Over on this section, artillery of our allies is starting to pull back together with the 12th New York. And over here another federal unit is on the retreat. We have some fighting on the flank. Maybe they will get into the flank of the enemy, but we have more Confederate forces coming up over on this section. We are now heavily outnumbered, and I don't think we can hold them back for a long time. Our morale is still nervous, we are still shaken, but we only took 14 casualties. Daylight is rapidly running out. We are now at almost 20 o'clock. We have a 19:45 now. And it looks like our breastworks are not finished yet. I hope they get this up quickly. Our morale has stabilized for now. If we take an overlook on the entire situation on the battlefield, we can see that we have about 20,000 soldiers present on the battlefield, while the Confederates have estimated 36,700 soldiers present. We have about 7% casualties, and the Confederates have about 3%. 203 of our men are killed, 900 are wounded, and 270 are missing. 270 of the Confederates are killed so far, 855 are wounded, and 155 are missing. And it looks like we are starting to get outflanked over on this side. For now, the fighting for this day has ended, and this gives us the option to regain some morale and ammunition. Today is the second day of the Battle of Alexandria. Our forces have pulled back far to the rear, while there are some detachments still fighting over here. The Confederate forces have deployed mostly on this side of the river, but more forces are on our right flank, and even more are on our left flank. It is safe to assume that we are going to lose this battle. Only some soldiers are guarding the situation over here, and I don't know if or when we are going to receive more reinforcements. Artillery fire is already starting to take up, and we have not received orders for the day. Over on this section, the first elements of our army are already falling back, but we hit some of their artillery. Morale of our soldiers is confident, but over on this side, Federal cavalry is apparently charging our soldiers. The 30th Virginia has dismounted, but they're able to drive back this detachment. More of their forces are rushing forward, and our first defensive line is completely collapsing. Over on this section we are dealing a little bit better, but these soldiers are going to get outflanked shortly as well. And as it looks right now, we are not even able to support these soldiers as this hill is in the way. Still, the second US artillery is starting to open up. They have 10-pounder Parrott rifles, and with those they have at least a good range on the enemy. Over here we have another artillery battery with 10-pounder Parrotts. The mass of unwashed Confederates is starting to get closer and closer to our line. We are the second line of defense over on this section. And I am thinking about moving our soldiers more into this gap. With that we should have at least a little bit of an option to open up on the enemy. And immediately as I stated, we are going to get outflanked over on this section. Gentlemen, advance back for now. We need to deal with those soldiers. And we need to make sure that the field of fire for these artillery pieces is not getting obstructed. Come on, gentlemen, open up. Very good, very good. Our first option is to fire, and we are getting support. This unit is now getting outflanked and should be driven back soon. They already took 46 casualties, and yes, there they are running. Very good. But on this side, the complete attack has begun. They have artillery on our flank. I'm sure that they're going to lose Cowper's artillery as there are forces in on their flank. And over here I'm going to move our soldiers forward a little. The Confederates are now pushing our right flank as well. So far I'm going to hold our soldiers outside of danger. There's nothing that we can really do to change the situation at hand. And I would like to save as many of our soldiers as possible. I want skirmishers out, if somehow possible. Nope, doesn't look like we want to do that. We have Confederate cavalry directly in front of us. I want our soldiers to engage. We have taken in total 22 casualties. These detachments as blocking our field of fire. And we are now able to outflank the Confederate cavalry. They're now trying to pull back. Very good, and it looks like they are taking heavy casualties. 186 men lost. Yes, this is the Confederate cavalry falling back. But over on this side, our own lines are starting to get outflanked. We have lost the right fork of our line, and the left fork is about to be taken as well. Over here, more forces are pulling back. And we have not yet received new orders. For now, I want our soldiers to stay on the line. Effectively, we might be able to deliver some flanking hits, but this is about it. In general, the Confederates are still not willing to move up over here. Some of our units are holding them back bravely. So I guess we might actually be able to send someone on the flank. Infantry, are you now willing to send out skirmishers? Come on! Finally, we got some skirmishers and I'm willing to send them over on this flank. We have another detachment under Woodbury over here. And with this we might be able to deliver some flanking fire. All in all, we are getting pushed extremely hard. And I think it might be wise to send our own men on this breastwork. Our detachment has arrived and is able to open fire. Some forces are coming up over there. And we might be able to dish out a little bit of damage before these skirmishers have to withdraw. More forces are coming up over there under the 4th Alabama. But it doesn't look like they are targeting the flank of our skirmishers. Very good. This unit is getting targeted and they have their flank. No, their rear even exposed. If our soldiers can keep up the pressure, we are able to drive this unit back. Very good, very good. Over here we are getting overrun. Our left flank has seemingly stopped to exist. Our right flank is not doing a lot better. This would be the perfect opportunity for our general to call for a retreat. Forces are coming up over there. Skirmishers fall back. I do not want you to get outflanked. Our men are now over here able to protect this section of the fight. But in all honesty, I am hoping that the general is finally going to succeed the field. The 7th Georgia is coming up again. Come on, man, open fire, open fire. The 4th Alabama took some casualties. Over here these men are coming up. Yes, our skirmishers need to fall back. Retreat, men, retreat. There is nothing left that we can do on this side. More Confederates are working through over on this section. We are somewhat holding the left fork, but this is really not much that we can actually do. In total, we have lost 22 soldiers in this fight. If you take a look on the battlefield, you can see that we have only a few men left over here and some soldiers left over here. This battle is absolutely lost and we should retreat while this is still considered just a minor defeat. If we stick to the field longer, we are going to lose the entirety of the army. Our skirmishers rush ahead and they are now able to open up on these forces. They might be able to deliver some flanking hits. And we have Federal cavalry rushing up over here. Our own men are now joining the fight. Very good. We have a nice volley on the 12th Georgia. But it is only a matter of time until our forces will shatter and break. I can't see our skirmishers anymore. I guess they broke. I cannot blame them. So far our soldiers are holding, but more Confederate forces are coming up over here. We are somewhat able to hold this one unit back, but casualties are rising. Now with more forces coming up and cavalry charging our artillery, this fight is absolutely lost. I am not going to order a retreat on our soldiers. Once we move out of this position, we are utterly defeated. That doesn't mean that we have a better defense of the ground over here. But I don't think we are able to retreat before our soldiers break completely. I am now simply hoping that we can build up some time for our other forces. And there are our men routed. So far in this fight we have gained some prestige and routed a couple soldiers, but this is really not much. And now the general is finally willing to accept that we got driven back. We can see that over 4,300 of the Union forces became casualties and the Confederacy only lost 4,100 of their soldiers. This means that we have lost almost a quarter of our own forces while the Confederates lost about 11%. But if you consider the numerical advantage of our enemy, I think we still held pretty well. Nonetheless, a defeat is a defeat. The 2nd Division is in retreat and Colonel Crittenden loses face. Colonel Pickett also loses face, and the support of the Federal Corps wavers. The Battle of Alexandria was a setback for our corps, but it was also our first combat experience. We now have the Army of the Potomac, the Army of the Shenandoah and Lee's Division right in front of Washington, where luckily many more of our soldiers are waiting for action. And I think that this is also a good point to end the episode. Soon we're going to face the rebels once more, and until then I wish you all a great time.